Aam Aadmi Party has the most to answer in this case. Do you concede now that this entire episode has pushed you, Mr. Grewal, on the back foot? Your government is barely 70 days old, and once again questions are being raised. Can the Aam Aadmi Party handle security in a sensitive state like Punjab? You're on mute. You're on mute, sir. You're on mute.
First of all, this is tragic. This is tragic, and this was totally avoidable. We accept responsibility. We accept there have been lapses, and those lapses will be surely, for sure, they will be discovered, and people responsible will be held to account.
No, lapses on whose part? Are you blaming your police leadership, or does the political leadership? Because the decision of withdrawing VIP security for so many people does not only come through the police, it also comes because that's the direction the political leadership gives the police. Remove VIP security.
Okay. No, sir. First of all, security was not removed. This gentleman had security. Very unfortunately, that will also be investigated. He went without security. Our point,
his security was downgraded, sir. Please be clear.
Yes,
his security was downgraded.
Yes, sir. It was downgraded. But even the downgraded security, he did not take along. If had there been security with him, there would have been an encounter. The thing is that there was nobody with the ability to fire back. He did not take, which is, look, I am not contesting anything. All I am saying is that this episode exposes the responsibilities. Aam Aadmi Party is the governing party in Punjab, and yes, there have been lapses, and yes, there will be accountability.
No, all you are saying is you're conceding.
He was a heartthrob for millions and millions of people across the world. But be that as it may, this is typical Aam Aadmi Party to pass the buck. The problem is that the Aam Aadmi Party has reduced governance to a social media gimmick. Security details should not be determined based on the political affiliation of the protectee. This mandates an objective threat assessment, which unfortunately appears to have not been done in this case. But what is ironical here is that the Aam Aadmi Party's ineptitude, their administrative inexperience, and their incompetency has led to this targeted killing. And I think the Aam Aadmi Party must squarely be held responsible for this. And the Home Department is with Mr. Bhagwant Mann. He was the one who was publicizing the withdrawal of security. He was the one who was trying to score petty political points on social media. So therefore, the Aam Aadmi Party cannot evade responsibility.
No, Aam Aadmi Party is responsible for what has happened yesterday. But Mr. Adil Singh Boparai, there are a series of instances of these gang war killings that have taken place. Shaganpreet Singh, who's Moose Wala's manager, is accused in the killing of a gangster Vicky in August of 2021, and it is suggested that this was a revenge killing. So when you took Moose Wala into your party in November, were you not aware of the background of Moose Wala as well? He was a popular singer, but he too is reportedly involved with some of the local gangs.
That is factually incorrect, Mr. Sardesai, and it is unfortunate that the Aam Aadmi Party is trying to sully the good name of somebody who's no more with us. But
what is factually incorrect? What is factually incorrect? No, just a minute, Mr. Grewal. That a gangster was killed allegedly by the manager of Moose Wala is incorrect?
Well, I am not the investigator in this case. The police would be in a better position to give facts. But I want to make it clear that Mr. Moose Wala was a man of
Mr. Grewal, do not intervene, please.
We are very certain. But let me make my point. Mr. Sardesai. The problem is the Aam Aadmi Party's administrative inexperience and the fact that governance has been outsourced to the Delhi crew, who do not understand the complexities of Punjab. And this is the reason why the law and order is collapsing. The Aam Aadmi Party is not able to govern. PR cannot be a substitute to governance, Mr. Sardesai.
Linkages got deepened in Punjab. Do you concede that or not?
Well, this is something, which has been propagated by the Congress party, and particularly Rahul Gandhi, because he came to Punjab and 10 years back and he said, 70% of youth of Punjab are drug addicts. So this is a Congress ploy, and they built upon this to get to the Akalis because the Akalis were responsible for record development in Punjab.
No, but the you cannot deny the fact that narcotics were flourishing in parts of Punjab, and that's where the gangsters got their big money.
See, this is something which needs to be investigated, where, there is absolutely no proof, no evidence of the Shromani Akali Dal ever patronizing any gangster whatsoever. There's no proof since the last 20 years. Whereas, there have been instances in the last 5 years when we have seen all this taking place. So please don't say that Akali Dal is responsible for anything. There's nothing like this. We know drugs come from Pakistan. We know sometimes drugs, with drugs, arms also smuggled in. But that is the work of the border security force. They control the border. There is a responsibility on every side. So please don't try to target the Akali Dal.
No one is targeting. Sir, the fact is that each of you will blame the other. Shashikant.
I'm not trying to blame anyone.
No, all of you are. No, please let us not believe that gangsterism has come to Punjab only on Sunday with the killing of Sidhu Moose Wala.
What is the border security force doing? How do drugs come into India?
Shashikant ji, as a former DGP, you're hearing, just a minute now, sir. You're hearing three politicians, you're hearing three politicians blaming each other. We have this time and again. The fact is, Sidhu Moose Wala's killing has brought to light the possibility that you have gang wars taking place in Punjab, with links possibly to narcotics, with links possibly to extortion, which links probably to hired killers. Lawrence Bishnoi is a gangster in Tihar jail who reportedly has a gang of about 700 people operating in Punjab, Rajasthan, Haryana. What information can you give? What is your sense, your experience of this? Is this true or not?
Look, I'll just give short replies. First of all, I'll say that you talked to Dalip, probably his memory is fading. He knows about it. I know I had stood by him once and saved him when I was in Patiala. So he's forgetting that chapter, number one. Secondly, if you talk of narcotics, yes, they have been coming in Punjab. Additionally, they were going across through Punjab and whatever places they were to send to abroad or whatever. Number three, the first incident of a gang killing was way back in 2006. When a person called Dimpy, when he had returned, he was hiding somewhere in UP. When he had come here, he was killed in Chandigarh. So it has been going on since 2006.